All right, so y'all have been begging me to do a reaction to Mexico's preliminary Gold Cup roster, so here it is. And I'm sorry that it took so long. I've been busy. I've been working on the preview video for our friendlies against Turkey and Switzerland, so hopefully that drops sometime soon. And then, of course, we have the Gold Cup, which I have at least 3 vids I gotta drop before the tournament kicks off, and that's only 14 days away. So it's about to be really busy here on DeadBall TV. If you like videos about the Mexican national team or CONCACAF, you better be subscribed. And I guess I can announce it now. I will be doing a live stream for at least Mexico versus Turkey, maybe Mexico versus Switzerland as well. Depends on my schedule. The live streams are a great time, so make sure you do not miss that. Drop a like on the video. Let's get into this roster, man. Now, this is the preliminary list. It's 60 players, I believe. This is going to be cut down heavily, but whatever. We're going to talk about the porteros first. Memo Ochoa has returned to the preliminary roster for Mexico. And I'm sure that he is probably 25% of the reason you guys even wanted me to make a video. First off, man, 7 goalkeepers in the preliminary roster. This is like everybody and their mom who's ever had a shout to replace Memo as Mexico's #1, except for Acevedo, who has not been seen near the Mexican national team since we were like, maybe he's next up a couple years ago. Anyways, Memo Ochoa, he's back on here. Do I think this is a good idea? If Memo Ochoa has been brought on to be a senior figure, a kind of vice team captain, almost like an assistant manager role on the bench, I have no problem with this whatsoever. A lot of national teams do this, where they call up the guy who's 38 years old. He's not actually going to play, but he's important. He keeps the nerves cool. He's won things before. It's a bit easier to talk to him versus talking to the coach because he is technically still a player. So if he's here for a spiritual role, if he's like the Sultan for the Ottoman Empire in World War I, or like the King of Spain right now, I'm cool with that. But if he's been brought in to play, we got big issues because he hasn't been good enough in Portugal this season for a terrible team to warrant being in here over Malagon. And Ochoa was this freaking close to getting relegated once again. I've defended Ochoa a lot when the other teams got relegated because he was winning like Club Player of the Year and they were still going down because the teams were ass. But not only is AVS terrible, and let's be honest, none of us knew this club existed before Ochoa signed there, Memo's been bad, man. He has one of the worst save percentages in Portugal. His goals prevented is even worse. It's literally the worst of any goalkeeper in Portugal. Goals prevented is basically actual goals minus expected goals. So if you have a positive number, that means you're saving goals for your team. You are preventing the other team from scoring. If you have a negative, that means you're underperforming your XG. If a goalkeeper has like a -2, that's pretty bad for the season. Memo Ochoa is -5 in 22 games. I mean, it's not good. But I guess this man's face card is very powerful because once again, he's back in the call-up. But I'll end it here. As long as he doesn't play, I don't care. Just make him the 3rd goalkeeper. Of these other options, I think Malagon has to be the starter. Jurado's a bit surprising to me. Rangel, I mean, the limited minutes I've seen with Mexico, it's been a travesty. Alex Padilla is a guy that I'm actually pretty bullish on for the future, but he has been terrible for Pumas. I mean, I just talked about how Memo has one of the lowest save percentages in Portugal. Padilla might have been one of the worst starting goalkeepers in Liga MX this season. I think he's like bottom 10% in save percentage. It's really bad. And so this loan move at Pumas, I don't really know what's going to happen here, but he really needs to rediscover his form. Because while Mexico doesn't have a lot of studs at the goalkeeper position, there's a lot of like decent options. And right now, Padilla doesn't look like a decent option, so yeah, better get his act together. Moving on to the defensas. Oh my God, there's like 20 names here. Jorge Sanchez, please cut him. Kevin Alvarez, I guess if we're going to be playing with wingbacks, I guess he can be like the backup option. I think that Huescas is not going to be included in this. That's probably the biggest omission from our defensores for the Gold Cup. The reason for that is not because Aguirre doesn't rate Huescas, from what I understand. It's because of the legal stuff in Denmark where my man almost went to jail for 5 years or something. I mean, it was crazy. I guess he must have been really speeding in a residential area. Some Danish grandma saw him, phoned the police, and he was cooked at that point. So Huescas is a huge miss, and honestly, it really, really bothers me that we're not going to see him at the Gold Cup because, let's be honest, Mexico aren't getting grouped. At worst, we're going to lose in the quarterfinals. So we had the opportunity to see Huescas for 4 consecutive games, and I really wanted to see what he could do. I think he was promising against Honduras. His crossing was a bit off in that game, but at least he was in the right places, making us look threatening. And now we're not going to see that, and maybe that's why Alvarez is here, because there is no Huescas, and Aguirre is looking for that wide man to put a ball in the box. The only problem is that Kevin Alvarez used to be a very good attacking fullback, and he's kind of forgotten how to cross the ball himself. I think he's got like a 15% cross success rate, which is bottom third in Liga MX of all right backs. So I guess he's here for the clout, and I guess face card once again. We're getting a lot of guys in here just off of face. Name a national team that has more guys in here for face down below in the comments. Gomez, Montes, Angulo. Y'all know I don't like Angulo. Johan Vasquez, I think best CONCACAF center back this season. Purata, I don't even know who that is. Araujo, Gallardo, Reyes. Is that Sebastian Reyes from Santos? No, Leon. He plays for Leon. I have no idea why that guy's here. Sepulveda, I'm a bit scared of that inclusion. Israel Reyes, cool to see. Campillo, I also don't know who that is. Eric Lira, Juarez, Ramon Juarez. I want to see him get some minutes of the Gold Cup. Aguila, Chavez, and Castillo. Who the heck is Castillo? There's some defenders on here I don't even know. Jose Castillo, another Chivas player, played 10 games in the Clausura. Okay, sure, whatever. 23 years old, whatever. If he makes the preliminary roster, I don't care. Yeah, I'm not really sure what we're going to be very angry about in this defensa section. I mean, again, Huescas isn't here because he's not good. He's here because I assume he's being disciplined by Aguirre for what happened. And honestly, I'm okay with that. Like, you got to have some sort of law enforcement in the national team. There are some question marks about who our starting fullbacks are here. I think there's actually quite a bit of debate. Do you go with Israel Reyes at the right back position, something that's a bit more defensively solid but very little going forward? Are we actually going to start Angulo over Gallardo? I hope not. Of course, Arteaga is also missing because Rayados are playing in the Club World Cup. But honestly, that guy's been a fraud for Mexico anyway, so I don't really care that he's not here. Yeah, I think the defensas is okay. I think we can move right along to the medios. Edson, Luis Romo, Luis Chavez, Eric Sanchez is back. I think he's been okay for America, so whatever. Oberlin Pineda, just please don't start. Cervantes, Charlie Rodriguez, Sebastian Cordova. Before I even move on to the second side of the names, y'all, I don't feel anything anymore when I see Charlie Rodriguez's name. I'm completely numb to this man being included in the selección. I just don't care. As long as he doesn't play, then I will not be angry. If he starts these games, I'm gonna freaking blow a fuse. Alexis Gutierrez from Cruz Azul, I don't think I'll make the final roster, but whatever. If he's on the prelims, I don't care. Marcel Ruiz, not only should he be on this list, he should probably be starting at the Gold Cup. Been one of the best midfielders in Mexico, if not the best this season. Eric Lira, Angulo, Marquez, Di Garcia. I'm not sure who Di Garcia is. And the young kid, Mora, is included in the prelims. Now, will he make the final squad? I don't think he will. And honestly, I'm not even that excited that he's made it this far because I feel like we've teased this so many times. We always put out the 30-man list. I remember this BS at the World Cup. We put out the 32-man list. We got a bunch of the young guys on there. And then, oh, look, when we submit our 23-man final squad, it just so happens every single one of them were cut. But don't worry, guys. They're going to go play for the U23s because that's all we do. We just send every good young player to the U23s repeatedly. I think this one's okay. Did I say Luis Chavez? Yeah, there he is the second name. I mean, we know that the midfield is the worst position in the Mexican national team, hands down. That's why I think Marcel Ruiz must start, because you cannot tell me that he is worse than Luis Romo, Charlie Rodriguez, or Oberlin Pineda. I refuse to believe that. For the delanteros, we have Chucky Lozano back in the squad. Now, do I hate this? No, I don't think that Chucky going to MLS means he's the biggest scrub of all time. I don't think he's out of the top 7 best wingers that Mexico had. I would probably put him as our 5th or 6th best winger right now. So if that means that he's the last guy on the bench for the final squad, honestly, guys, I don't care. I just want us to win the Gold Cup. I don't care if Chuky's on the bench. I don't really care if Charlie Rodriguez is on the bench. Just win. Now, if he starts, again, we have a problem, but I'm going to wait for that to happen before I get upset. Alexis Vega, the MVP of Liga MX this season, and should start every single game, I think. If we can get like 70% of Toluca Vega, we're going to win the Gold Cup. Julian Quiñones, another guy who's just been cooking overseas in Saudi Arabia. I think he was a layup for this list, honestly. Santi Jimenez, Chino Huerta, Violante, who I'm not sure who that is. Oziel Herrera's back. Sebastian Carrillo and Diego Lainez is back in the prelim squad. I'm not sure if Oziel or Carrillo. I thought Carrillo was going to be in a different competition with the youth team, but I guess he's called up here. And Diego Lainez, I don't think he'll make the final team. From this first little section, I don't really have any issues. Yeah, I'm not going to get upset about Chucky Lozano being here. On the right side, Efrain Alvarez, sure. Morales, Camberos, Ruvalcaba, that's an interesting inclusion here for me. Henry Martin, Sepulveda, Raul Jimenez, Piojo, and Memo Martinez. Do I have any thoughts about this whatsoever? No. I don't care that Chucky's back. I think that we called up the right players. Raul, Santi, Chino, Julian, Quiñones, Vega. I mean, we're bringing some firepower to this tournament. The midfield might be awful, but I think our attack is solid, at least solid enough to make it to the final, certainly. And I don't really think I need to see or talk about anything else. I'm not really that upset by any of the inclusions here. I think the guys that didn't make it are mostly not making it because of injury or the Club World Cup, so I don't think Aguirre's had a howler here. I will feel stronger emotions when I see who is getting minutes, who is getting opportunities at the Gold Cup, because I think we need to play our strongest 11. The World Cup's not that far away. You want to experiment with a couple positions that are question marks for me, like the midfield, like can we get and play a new midfield? That's the objective. We don't need to be playing around with a different attacking trio every single game. I think that's good enough. Center backs pick themselves, make Malagon the goalkeeper. Bit of a question mark at the right back. I think that's the position also that somebody can earn here. Same with the left back position. Although as far as I'm concerned, it is Gallardo's until further notice. But yeah, those are my thoughts, guys, on this roster reaction. You let me know how you feel down below in the comments. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button. Again, a lot of CONCACAF content here dropping soon. Don't miss that. Hit subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.